What's up, Shadow Nerds? How you been, guys? I'm still here. So, quick update. My birthday was on July 4th, so that was awesome. Hold the applause. But something else happened on July 4th. If you're a comic book fan, you know exactly what it is. It's a huge deal, huge event. It was the release of Batman 50, aka the wedding issue. For those who haven't been following Batman and live under a rock, Batman has been him and Catwoman, Selena Kyle, are engaged. They proposed, or he proposed, and all that kind of stuff. They're engaged. This was to be the wedding issue. What happened? That's what we're going to talk about. This is a spoiler review. So if you don't want to hear spoilers and don't want to know about Batman 50 or exactly what happened and have it spoiled for you, click away now. We good? You gone? Okay, the rest of you that are still here, let's continue with this. This is one of the invitations I picked up at my local comic book store. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne, July 4th, 2018, Gotham City. Invitation to follow. Pretty cool little invitation there. Hung that up on my wall just because it's awesome. Okay, now, July 4th, we finally get Batman 50. The lead up has been, God, probably the past 12 to 15 issues, I want to say, have all been leading to this, and a couple different tie-ins and whatnot. The Booster Gold series was awesome. The recent ones with the Joker were pretty cool, too. So, anyways, Batman 50. The beginning of the issue, they're on a rooftop, and they talk about how, what's the wedding going to be like? When is it going to be? Where is it going to be? And who's going to be there? Long story short, they decide to have it on the rooftop where they're fighting, which is Finger Tower. We'll get to that towards the end, which is Finger Tower. At dawn, they just decided that it's going to be them, two witnesses. He's going to get a witness, she's going to get a witness, and a priest. That's it. No other superheroes, no shit ton of people, nothing like that. And I get it, but at the same time, as a fan, I was really hoping to see like this wedding issue where I have another one and I don't remember who it was. Probably like Green Arrow and Black Canary or something like that. But back in the day when it was a wedding issue, all the heroes would show up in a church and have it, and everything would go off pretty cool and awesome. I was really hoping for that because I love seeing all the heroes that show up for that. And it's Batman. I mean, this dude was banging Black Canary and Batman Hush. He's banged Selena 1,000 times. Vicky Vale, Rachel, right? All these women, and you're like, he's finally settling down. So it's a big deal. He even had the fling with Wonder Woman in the Justice League cartoon back in the day. Okay, like, this man has gotten around. Hell, Harley has pretty much raped him. Talia al Ghul did rape him, and that's how he got fucking Damien, right? So, like, this man's been all over the place. So for him to finally settle down, this was a big deal. As a comic book collector alone, it's a big deal to own this, okay? Because in 100 years, this might be worth something, I don't know. But Batman actually settling down, big deal. And to Catwoman, which kind of goes against everything he stands for. Big deal as a collector, big deal as a fan, which made for a really exciting story. Now let's continue with that. Anyways, just a little side rant, sorry. So that's what I was hoping for, right? But they said, nope, it's going to be me, us, two other people, and the priest. Okay, right, I got over it. My only complaint with this issue, really, in general, was they had a bunch of artist tributes, I guess you could say, to Batman and Catwoman throughout the whole issue. Every other page was an artist doing their own portrait of Batman and Catwoman doing something, right? With the jewels and the thievery and fighting crime together, or like, on a bike together, whatever the case is. So the only problem I had with that was I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes. I wanted to get into the fucking story. Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to get married? Is Joker going to pop in or pop out of the fucking cake with, a gun or something like that? Or is Harley going to show up and do something crazy, right? Or is Poison Ivy going to come in and poison everybody again, whatever, you know what I mean? Because her and Catwoman are girls. So I was really wanting to get to that part, but every other page I was stopped and slowed down and speed bumped by an artist's rendition of Batman and Catwoman. That is a complaint. However, the art was also awesome. So it's a double-edged sword. You had Clay Mann, you had Tony Daniel, you had Frank Miller, you had Jim Lee, you had Jason Fabok. Great artists in there, and many, many more. You had Connor from Harley. Many artists did their own renditions. A lot of it was super awesome. Really cool to fucking see their, like, homage to these two characters, right? So, again, double-edged sword. I really liked it. Some of the art was magnifico, okay? After that, finally we get to just the story, okay? So, long story short, Catwoman, her witness, she's going to break out Holly Robinson, who's a childhood friend and all this kind of shit. They met on the street. Holly Robinson, who was in Arkham, that was going to be her witness, so she breaks her out of Arkham. Batman decides later on in the issue, his witness is going to be Alfred, because Alfred's always been there for him, la-di-da-di-da, okay? And then he goes and gets some random judge at a bar, Judge Wolfman, who I've never heard of, off the top of my head anyway. He goes and gets this judge, and that's going to be the judge of the thing. That's it, right? The rest of the issue, they're in Wayne Manor. He's on one end of the place getting ready in his tight-ass suit. She's on the other place of the end getting ready in her tight-ass wedding dress, which he complains about. And there's a funny part in there where Alfred says, "Shut the hell up, you fight crime in a molded leather bodysuit every night of the week doing backflips, so get over it." Okay, that's pretty cool. They talk, they walk, they talk, they talk, they talk, they walk, they walk, they walk. They eventually walk into each other, breaking all taboo about not supposed to see the bride on the wedding day, but this is not a taboo, or this is not a normal wedding ceremony anyway. This is not a normal couple either, you know what I mean? So, they break tradition, they kiss each other in the middle of the hall, I love you, right, all that shit. They go their separate ways, right? Now, what starts to happen is Holly Robinson, I think it's Holly Robinson, I literally just read it, so that's why I wanted to do this video now. But anyways, Holly Robinson has this conversation with her and was like, wow, you made him happy, you're making him happy, you're gonna make him happy for the rest of your life. That's crazy, because that's never who I thought Batman was. And for some reason, Catwoman just kind of says, what? And the only reason this bothers me is that she's just now saying what for, is the fact that majority of these issues leading up to it, a lot of other characters have said roughly the same thing to her. Poison Ivy was like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. A lot of other characters have been like, are you sure about this? And just now, it's clicked in her head that something's not right, or whatever the case is. So she says, what? So it progresses and continues from there, and Alfred has a similar conversation with Bruce. He says something to the effect of, I don't remember, but you deserve to be happy too, or you have to be happy, or something of that aspect. And Bruce was like, why, or whatever. So this continues on to where Catwoman continues to write this letter in the background while we're also reading his letter in the background. They wanted to write these letters to each other to confess all these crazy things and whatnot. Gets to the end of the issue. Now, the end of the issue is supposed to be the ceremony in which they both meet on Finger Tower and Finger Rooftop Tower, whatever the hell is a Finger Tower, I don't fucking know. It's a roof, okay? And have the ceremony. Batman shows up. Catwoman shows up. Alfred shows up. On different rooftops. Batman and Judge Wolfman and Alfred are on Finger Tower or rooftop. Catwoman is on a rooftop, but it is called Kane Roof Tower. I don't remember. Which is cool on a side note, because obviously that's a homage to Bob Kane, which is where she was sitting on, and Bill Finger, which is what he was sitting on, the two creators of Batman. I like that little Easter egg that they kind of threw that in there, and I think they did that as well with the different rooms in Wayne Manor too, but I'll have to dig deeper into that later. But I thought that was a cool little nod to Bob Kane and Bill Finger. This is a big deal. Anyways, she's on Kane Tower, and an hour goes by after dawn. She basically left him at the altar. Because her whole thinking is Batman can't be Batman, fight crime, deal with the Joker like he did in the previous issue, or all these things if he's married, if he has someone to protect, if he's in love, if he is happy. The root of Batman is pain. It's that pain that drives him to fight crime, to be the Dark Knight, to be the vigilante, and so on and so forth. Bruce Wayne sort of comes to this realization as well in his own head. They don't quite state it as obvious as she does. So Alfred tries to tell him, give her another chance. Maybe she, wanted to steal something on the way, or maybe she got hit by a villain on the way, blah, 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 give her time. Batman's like, no, I'm good. I'm obviously embarrassed enough. And he fucking leaves, and he jumps off the roof. And that's the end of that particular scene. The next scene is Holly Robinson is walking down this hallway, reporting exactly what happened to the proposed mastermind of all this, Bane, who is also there with Joker, a dude that looks like fucking Thomas Wayne in the background, but maybe it was fucking Dick Grayson, or what's his name from the future? The Batman from the future. What the hell's his name lately? Tim Drake, right? He's there with Ventriloquist, Joker, the fucking all these fucking villains, right? And you start to realize that Bane basically put her there to plant seeds of doubt in Catwoman's head, to kind of slowly but surely nudge her in the direction of not marrying Batman is better for everyone, because Batman can be Batman if he's in pain and in turmoil and devastated. If he's happy, he can't fight crime as well. The Joker needs Batman. Bane needs Batman. All these fucking villains need Batman, yet, which doesn't make sense to me. They need Batman to be who they are, but at the same time, they all want to kill him. So, if either way you want him fucking gone, so you can do what you do, but then you turn around and basically make him still be Batman so you can be who you are, it's this fucking, like, self-deprecating fucking whatever you call it, like a snake eating its own tail type thing, and then regurgitating it just so he can eat it again, because that's, it's fucking weird, okay? The psychology behind it. But a long story short, they need Batman. And Bane did this to devastate Batman, because the last time we saw Bane, he got his fucking ass kicked by Batman, and scuttled off of Gotham and went over to somewhere else, and that's where the Bane Conquest series comes from, and blah, 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 blah. Well, apparently he's back, and this is his revenge on Batman, is to leave him heartbroken, devastated, and just broken at the end of the day, which, that's Bane's favorite thing to do, is to break the bat, okay? Leaves us on a cliffhanger from that. I'm up in the air on this one. I really wish that Batman would have got married, to be honest with you, because for me it makes sense. Look why Superman fights so fucking hard. It's to protect Lois. It's to protect Jean. It's to protect people he cares about. And a bunch of other heroes. The same fucking thing. The Flash, he's always got to protect Iris, right? And everybody else. They all got to protect these people. That's why they fight so hard. It's because they have people in their lives that they love to fight for. That's what they're fighting for. And, if somebody breaks in your house, you got family to fucking protect, you're going to fight like a lion, right? But for Batman, for some reason, they just don't think that it can work with him having people that he loves. Even though technically he does. Fucking Damian, right? If somebody... Hell, when Damian did die, he went to fucking Apocalypse and got his goddamn body and beat the whole Justice League on his way there, right? So it gave him that extra motivation. So if he's married and has a wife and she gets threatened, Batman is going to fight 10 times as hard to protect her. But for some reason, that's not good enough. Batman has to be in pain, and that is the only way he can be Batman. I don't agree with it. Things can change. I get it. That pain and loss and devastation of his parents is what made him Batman. It doesn't mean that is that can be, to me anyway, it doesn't mean that has to be the only driving force, the only emotional driving force for him to fight crime and to stop villains. Having a wife that gets threatened and someone that you love and protecting her can be a driving force for more aggression, for a harder fighting style, for to make sure you stop these villains. To me, that can be a driving force too. It doesn't have to be the same reason as it was in 1938 back in the day of his parents' death. It can be that Selina is threatened, that Damian is threatened. There can be other reasons why Batman fights so hard to stop everyone. But for whatever reason, that's not what Tom King, or hell, DC Comics in general, the big heads, the big wigs above Tom King, they didn't want to do it. I guess they just wanted him to be in pain forever. And it sucks. The other side of that is I get it. I do get it. I really do. Because, and then you got to think logically, okay? If they did get married, just if, Batman ain't going to be married in 100 years. Our kids aren't going to only know a Batman that's married and that's been in this relationship basically since the beginning. It can't be. You know that eventually at some point, especially with Selina Kyle, Batman, they would have separated, okay? And for Batman to finally put his heart on the line to a woman, and she accepts it, and then years later, 10 issues later, or 1,000 issues later, she crushes it and they break up, it would have sent him into an even deeper, darker, like a fucking pitch black Dark Knight. It would have sent him into abyss later on down the road. So logically, it makes sense to avoid that and just end this relationship or this marriage or this engagement this way. It makes more sense. So I will give them that. It sucks because it's one of those things, it's like all this build-up for nothing. But it wasn't for nothing. It was for a great story. It was for a finale that we probably all saw coming. We just didn't want it to happen like that. But it's for the best. Which is why, after all my ranting and raving and complaining and positives and negatives, it's a damn good story, man. Tom King, you got my vote. And all the guest artists in here, it was awesome. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out, man. Batman 50, totally worth it. The build-up and everything, totally worth it. And now, like all great stories, now we got to see the fallout. Now we got to see what the hell Bane is going to do. So for that, that's my review. Sorry so long. I'm passionate about this shit. That's why I love it. That's why as soon as I got done reading it, I had to do a video about it because this stuff, I love this shit, man. So, that's it. Batman, number 50. Check it out. The wedding issue. See you guys later. Shadow Nerds out.